podcast where we put you on the map. This is Ron Costa broadcasting live from the Mapable USA studios here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And folks, today we're going to talk about something that everybody's concerned about, their health. And everybody drinks water, so water. We're going to turn this into crowdfunding. Before we get going into that, let's introduce Vicky Hutchmala from the World Token Market. Vicky, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Ron, and I'm especially excited because usually I talk about how wonderful the weather is in Vegas and all that, but we're in monsoon times. It's raining, it's flash flooding, and pretty exciting seeing lightning and thunder in the air. It's great.
Yeah, especially since this podcast is not water, but it's going to be a little bit different that way. And you like to be healthy, right, Vicky? You like health, right?
I love healthy. Good. Healthy's a good thing.
All right, so let's get this thing moving. Let's introduce Ivan Ants. Ivan is the CEO of Philanthro Investors. Ivan, how are you doing today?
Great, Ron and Vicky. Thanks for having me back in your podcast.
We love it. We love
it. Yeah. The energy you bring to the podcast is unmatched, Ivan. I'm telling you that you're the best out there.
Thank you, amigo. Thank you very much.
Yes, and this is our second podcast with you. Folks, if you're a fan of the show, you can go back and see a little bit about our last podcast with Ivan, but there's so much more you guys have been doing over the last year or so. We hope we get you back on. And I know that you've been making strides in a lot of different areas of philanthro investing. So before we get into that, Ivan, maybe you can just recap to our audience a little bit about your background.
Yes, of course. I am being an entrepreneur my entire life. I was, when I was 7 years old, I created my first little company, leasing my go-karts to kids and selling them candies.
Oh,
interesting. I've never heard that before.
Okay. And then I continue the creation of multiple other companies, up to the point that I had, in 2009, I had 4 different CEOs with my companies in Latin America and Argentina. And I was just around that time and that position that I say, okay, now I am making money from my 4 companies. What I need to do next? I didn't realize exactly what it was, the difference between the founder and the CEO, the difference between the entrepreneur and the CEO, because I am not the CEO. I am, by the way, I am the founder of Philanthro Investors, and I have a CEO for Philanthro Investors, which his name is Mr. Artie Marin. But anyway, so I did multiple companies, and then at that time, 2009, I was, okay, what do I do with my time? Okay, so I need to become an investor. So I am going to go behind the computer and learn the markets and invest in the markets and so on. So I start doing that, and I start watching numbers going up and down in the screen. And I say, come on, this cannot be life. It's supposed to get better, not worse. Where is my people? Where is my CEOs? Where is my clients and so on? And then I say to the I start looking and seeking for answers, because I start feeling depressed watching numbers going up and down in the screen and making 100,000, tens of thousands every day, money moving up and down. So I realized, okay, so I need to start praying, and I start praying God, and I say, God, give me an answer to this. And I was taking a shower in 2009, and I normally like to take 2 showers, because 2 showers gives me more ideas.
You double up on your ideas.
I love it, Ivan.
Exactly. And then he gives me this word, Philanthro Investors. And I say, my Lord, what are you trying to tell me with Philanthro Investor? What is that? Ivan, this is a mission that I am giving you. You need to start researching the problems in the planet, and then connect resources that will solve these problems in the planet. Direct the resources, the money, the people, everything towards the issue of solving the problem, the path or the mission of solving these issues in the planet. So I go and I start, it was like at 10 p.m. at night, and I go, instead of going to my bed after the shower, I go to my laptop and I start researching, and I am researching until 2 a.m. in the morning. and I start discovering all the problems in the planet, like 6,000 kids dying from water-related diseases every single day, and 1.3 billion people not owning their home, and another billion plus being just homeless, and 160 million people every year suffering from natural disasters, and only 8% of the population living in good air quality conditions, and 1 billion illiterates in the world, and 70% of the animal population declining in the last 50 years. So I start discovering things like that, and then I start researching more, and I discover that more than half $500 billion is gambled every single year. More than $500 billion. And I say, this doesn't make sense. All these problems in the planet, and more than $500 billion are being gambled every year. And then I research more, and 90% of the investors, new and seasoned investors, lose their money in the stock market. So I realized, oh my gosh, this is contradictory information, like contradictory facts in the world.
Right.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you that, and then I guess the last time you were on the show, we talked a lot about what you're doing real estate wise, but now you're moving more towards like that whole water idea, right? And health, correct?
That's correct. So I started philanthropy investing through housing in 2009 in Argentina. In 2014, I expanded to the U.S. I launched Equity and Health, my housing philanthropy investing company in Florida. That company is an Inc. 500 company 3 years in a row, position number 5 in the fastest real estate companies growing in the U.S., position number 83 between all the industries in the U.S., and position number 1 in the fastest growing companies in Florida. So that's with housing. But in 2019, I realized, wait a minute. God gave me the call again. I was taking another shower.
Good thing you get dirty, Ivan.
Yes, right? And then God tells me, listen, Ivan, I didn't give you the Philanthro Investor brand just to just help families live in their own homes. I told you that there is many problems in the planet, and I remember 10 years ago. I said, oh, yes, you're right. My Lord, so sorry. So I go and research again, and I go more deep into water, and I discover 80% of the water gets released untreated in the planet, and the U.S. only recycles 1%. And there's 3 million jobs that will be needed in the water industry in the next decade just in the U.S. And the budget that the U.S. government has for water infrastructure is only $40 billion in the next decade, but what is needed is $150 billion. So the private sector needs to cover that. So the entrepreneurs are going to solve the issues with the water. So I start searching and searching and searching, and I start praying for a water entrepreneur, what we call waterpreneurs, that will actually have a solution to bring water to its original form in the planet, as it was before the human race came to this planet. And I discovered this company, Origin Clear, the only water incubation company in the world.
Really?
So water companies incubation in the world, yes. And they've been for 14 years of existence, incubating water companies and solving water issues in the planet. So now we are connecting water philanthropy investors with the humanitarian cost of water while they can grow their capital.
Oh. So, Ivan, it's very commendable what you're doing, and very special, because most people won't take it to that level and, think of the greater good of all of humanity. That's exceptional what you're doing. But give us an idea of what it takes to be a philanthro investor and how you go about deciding what you want to do.
Well, basically, it's very simple. I believe that more simple the things are, more powerful they are, because more people can do it. So
true.
The philanthropy investor onboarding is very simple. You go to philanthroinvestors.com, or you go to Amazon and you buy the philanthropy investor book, which you can find there by searching my name in Amazon, or almost every bookstore in the planet. But the Housing Philanthro Investor book that we launched in April 26 this year, it became Amazon bestseller in 3 different categories in the first week.
Wow.
Number one.
That's pretty good.
Number one, not just bestseller, number 1 in 3 categories.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, I mean, obviously, water is a huge concern. There's a lot of here in the United States, for example, we're talking about droughts, especially here in Las Vegas, trying to get water to this place and the clean water and all these different places. You read all these articles about it, but the United States is still head over heels above everyone else in the world. Aren't there places where they just don't get clean water? I mean, is that an area where you guys are specializing?
Yes, there is areas. There's many areas in the U.S. I would say like 90% of the U.S. people do not get clean water through their faucet. Right.
And then, how do you guys earn money on this? I mean, is there something where you're selling this, right? This is just a technology that you're using?
Yes, there is a very unique. We have 6 patents in the company, and that we are using to basically take responsibility and improve the water quality in the planet. And that's basically what it is.
All right, and then how are you doing this? What's the process? I know, is this like one of these like desalinization plants? I think they call them, right? Or is it something different?
No, it's different because basically we are supporting waterpreneurs. We are being a financing company for waterpreneurs, and we are that's one branch of the company. And the other side is we are providing them the technology and licensing the technology for water companies to grow and expand, and for them to go and solve the issues of the water in basically commercial and farming industry, not so much residential yet, but that's what we are doing. And I want to invite everybody to join our CEO at Origin Clear every Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Florida or Eastern Standard Time. He gives an update of this important industry, which is the water industry, and how this is one of the only companies that allow you to invest in the most important asset in the world, which is water. And that happens at oc.gold/CEO, oc.gold/CEO, and you can register in there. And you can, when you go there, you can tell them that you are a philanthro investor, that you want to learn more about it. And every Thursday you will be able to learn the updates on water. It's just amazing the amount of information that you can learn about in every Thursday briefing. But that's on water. And imagine that you are buying a Bitcoin machine. Just to give you a nutshell, you're buying a Bitcoin machine, and this Bitcoin machine is mining Bitcoin, and then you are recovering the money through mining of the Bitcoin. Okay, so now imagine that you can buy a water equipment that is there in a commercial building, and is recycling water or improving the water quality of a whole building, and then a percentage of the money that comes from that equipment, the water that is mining basically, it comes to you in the way of royalties every quarter. So instead of just buying a Bitcoin machine that it will add just digital currency to the world, you can really add a good water quality to the world.
Yeah, and in that situation, you don't have to understand blockchain technology either, right? So you just get all the benefits of it. You don't have to do any research.
No, but, you get the benefits. Yes, you're right. You're a philanthro investor. This is simple.
Yeah. So where are these operational right now? Are you mostly in the United States? Are you outside the country, or where is it?
Well, we have operation in Europe. We have operation in the U.S. We have some contracts with Asia. We are exploring some expansion in Mexico. So we are taking responsibility for the planet, for the water in the planet.
Okay.
Very good.
And if you're a philanthro investor and you're interested in the water aspect of this, are you investing in specifically the philanthro water aspect of it? Or are you investing in like a top level company, or how does that work?
You are investing in the mothership, and you are investing in the company that owns the equipment that gets basically put to work by the gallon to these companies, what we call water on demand. and
right.
that's in what you are investing. So it's a very unique type. I mean, you should definitely contact our president, Wendy Rios, going through Philanthro Investors, so she can give you a more deep briefing on this. But definitely, I haven't seen a better, a more strong and robust type of investment, because it has asset protection, it has security with the asset behind, it has capital growth, it has the potential of the angel investment when the company goes, public. It has all these different things. It has cash flow. It has philanthropic side, which is helping the water. It's very unique.
Yeah, and it's only for accredited investors, or can anybody get involved in this?
For now, it's only accredited investors. I think in October we will be ready for non-accredited investors also.
Awesome.
So will you use like a blockchain technology for investors, non-accredited investors in the future, like you're talking about later in the year?
Yes. That's part of the future also. Yes.
Like tokenizing the investment and using a blockchain platform to account for the investing?
Well, we have something very unique on that. One of the spin-off projects is launching the only water utility token in the blockchain in the entire planet. It's already trademarked and patented, the whole technology, by our mothership company, Origin Clear. So it's just absolutely amazing. I highly suggest you go to philanthroinvestors.com, get into a discovery call with Ms. Wendy Rios, who is our philanthro investing consultant at the philanthro investing level company, and learn all of this much deep dive into water philanthro investing, because it can literally expand your viewpoint for the future and give you a lot of benefits.
Well, Ivan, in addition to what you're doing with water, what other aspects are you working on to the same degree?
Well, we're working on health philanthro investing, because another of the missions for philanthro investing is creating a disease-free world. And how the only way that we can do it is through technology. We found and discovered and joint venture with this other company, Fios Health. It's just absolutely amazing in the sense that it has a technology. Imagine that you are in your house, and we ship to your house a little, cup, like a little device that you just put saliva in it, and you just ship it back to our company, to the company. And then, it literally takes minutes. And then, when we analyze, we have the technology to analyze that saliva and tells you what of the top 10 diseases you can get sick in the next, let's say, 10 years. So this is predictive technology. So the top 10 diseases that kill the world and are the most expensive diseases to the world are basically, heart diseases, cancer, et cetera, et cetera. So the top 10 diseases that come in your genes, that comes with your habits and all of that, we can detect them when they exist at 1% of existence. So imagine if you know that you have a potential of having one of these top 10 diseases being really, really bad on you in 10 years from now. It's very easy for you to eradicate 1% and convert that 1% to 0%. It's much more easy to accomplish that than to accomplish taking it down from 70% of existence.
Right. Right. Oh,
so
wow. That company and I'm sorry. And how many what?
Yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that then we have a whole network of certified doctors by Fios that they are going to give you a program and do a follow-up, and all of this comes in a way of a very affordable monthly membership that you as a customer sign up, and you have your entire information in one application of your entire body, even arriving to having a 3D imaginary completely of your body with everything that's going on, so the doctor can see your full body and you can get it anywhere in the U.S. for now. Just in less than 90 minutes, you can have a whole 3D body with everything that is going on inside. So the whole knowledge, because listen to this. We know, if I ask you right now how much money you have in the bank account, you know that. If I ask you how much gasoline you have in your car, you know that. If I ask you how many, if you are lacking pair of shoes or not, you know that. If I ask you if your tires in the car are good, if I ask you when your car goes to service next time, you know that. But if I ask you what is the more strong possible disease that you might have because of your genes, you don't know that. If I ask you what is right now your cholesterol, you don't know right now. If I ask you what is your circulation level on your blood, you don't know right now. So this is raising the conscious level of the humanity for having knowledge of your entire body with predictive technology, so you can really solve the issues that can become potentially big in the future, and they are at the level of they will not exist in the future because you are preventing them. So unfortunately, people value more when someone solves a big problem for them than when someone prevents the big problem from happening. And that's just a nature on the human being. But we just need to change that viewpoint and say, hey guys, let's sign up into this amazing technology. It's like a very preventive cheap membership that you can have that almost is created for a single mother with 3 kids living at their home and working from home to be able to afford it. So just you understand. And so basically that's the technology. Now, companies like that with a much smaller potential and technology and future of the capacity of the technology has been acquired by Amazon last week for $3.9 billion. And this company, because it's the future of health, really. And this company has not only medical doctors from Harvard in the board and an amazing team, and basically the company allows health philanthro investors to access in early and become shareholders of the company before this company goes really big. And that's the opportunity that exists right now. So I would really recommend when you reach to philanthro investors to ask for them to brief you on health philanthro investing.
Wow. And so in this scenario, once you apply for this and you are a member and you get the information done, and then do the doctors that are part of the company, do they follow up with you? Do you follow up with them? Do you create a relationship with these doctors for your health for the future?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, that's great. And that makes it really centralized.
Yes, and everything is online and everything is from your house.
Oh, that's great. And people will take their health seriously, and as you say, prevent something from happening waiting until something does happen, and then you may not survive it.
That's correct. You got it.
Wow.
And you get all this information from a swab, from a saliva? That's amazing.
That's you get the majority of this information is saliva, and then if you want to go beyond to the 3D imaginary, we have partnerships with a company that has this technology across the U.S. And you go in almost any city in the U.S. and you walk in, and it's like very smooth, very nice. 90 minutes is part of the membership, so you don't need to pay them extra. And then you just go, and then in 90 minutes you will have in your call it your health data room, your application that goes with you every day in your cell phone. You will have your full 3D imaginary, and your doctor will be able to see it in your Zoom call with him and be able to address potential issues and do the programs and all of that, and do everything preventive. You see, everything is preventing, and if there is things to solve now, great, this is the program, and we are going to solve it now. But it's mostly preventing things to occur.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole medical industry is basically reactive rather than proactive. Everybody talks about, once you get cancer, okay, how do we treat you? Once you have diabetes, what do we do? They never say, okay, do this to prevent cancer, do this to prevent. None of the doctors ever say that. So this is really an interesting angle on this whole thing. Well, so just to get me straight on this, so this is a test that you take at home, and it's basically just telling you what you're predisposed to, correct? Like you get the results and you say, okay, well, you may be predisposed to Alzheimer's or cancer or something like that. I mean, how in depth is it? I mean, how many diseases does it test, or does it just see something and say, okay, that's this disease, right?
Oh my gosh, yes, it goes like, it's so comprehensive, it's so full of information. It's just beyond what you can imagine. It's just absolutely phenomenal, and it will touch almost every disease that you can imagine that exists in the planet.
Yeah, that's really good stuff. What about would insurance pay for something like this, or the membership, medical insurance, or something like that, health insurance, or that's not even a consideration? That doesn't sound like it's a consideration for you right now.
No, it's not, because the memberships goes from anywhere from free to $120 a year. So there is, like, it's really nothing compared to what health insurance costs. So there is multiple levels and so on. You can go up to the very, very, very top of that, and the whole thing is that idea. So we can. It's very simple. We are going to possibly explore the health insurance field in the future, but it's maybe something that they are interested in order to save money, because they are not going to be spending so much money of their health insurance funds, the companies, into solving the issues, because they are spending in prevention. You see what I mean?
Right. Okay. So now let's say I'm a customer. I get one of these tests. I take it at home. I send it back to you guys, and now all of a sudden it comes back and it says that I may be predisposed to diabetes. So I have to watch out for diabetes. What's the next step on my part? Is there a doctor that I call who tells me what to do, or gives me a regimen or something, or are you on your own at that point?
You are in your no. It's basically there is a follow-up with the doctors and so on. But the most important thing that we are talking here is of course for the people, but remember that we are responsible in this case for growing the company and development and so on, and inviting health philanthro investors to support this. So if
right.
this captures some of your attention, you definitely want to reach out to philanthro investors and say, and of course, when you meet, you will meet with the health philanthro investing consultants that will brief you on how you can invest in this company. But then you can, of course, ask them that you want to become a customer, and they, of course, will say yes. But
right.
we are not. Yes, we are not in the customer entry line from philanthro investors itself. But we are, of course, happy to share all of this with you guys and your audience.
Yeah, and for investors who may be interested in something like this, is there like a minimum amount that they can invest?
Well, yes. Right now, I think the founders with the board have set up in water the minimum is 100,000, and in health I think the minimum is 50,000 for now. For the next million that they are almost, and then they are going to raise the 50,000 to 250,000 minimum. That's basically their plan, and they are closing absolutely the door at 4 million fundraising. They are closing the doors, for what I understand from what the board and the founders have shared with us.
Okay, wow. All right. And like the water that we just talked about, are there any kind of presentations that you guys are doing or marketing for this particular aspect for the medical as well?
Yes, there is all of that. So you will be able to go to Philanthro Investors, contact Wendy. Wendy will give you the full briefing. If you are interested in straightly going to health, she will contact you with the health Philanthro Investor consultant at FIOS. You will meet with the team. They will give you a full 1-hour briefing. You will understand every single aspect. You will ask all your questions. And yeah, it's an amazing marketing materials and so on. The marketing team is absolutely phenomenal also, because the mission is so important, which is a disease-free world. basically using the technology from Fios that is, we are putting the best talent behind this company.
Yeah, it's really funny how when you take a shower, God bestows on you these earth-changing great ideas, and when I take a shower, He says, "Pay your mortgage." I guess I'm not talking to Him the right way.
Evidently, Ivan's got the red phone to God.
Yeah, this is an incredible story, how this whole thing started.
Exactly. Yeah,
and you know what else is really...
The reason for that, Ron, I think, is because I believe I am faith, I don't have faith.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's a really great story. And like I said, at the top of the podcast, you started off with just like one little thing, and now you've expanded to all these different areas, and it looks really successful, and it looks like it's so needed. What you're doing is incredible. And for the time it's taking you to get to this point, it's been amazing. You guys got here really, really quickly. So you're doing something right.
Thank you. That's not. Yeah. This is not me. It's my team. Like, I am just a visionary, and 99% of the success is because of my team.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
there you go.
And we mentioned through the podcast a number of times where people can go for more information. Obviously, the philanthroinvestors.com is the top level place where if they go there online, they can get all information for everything that we talked about in the podcast today and more. All right.
Yes, that's totally correct.
And then, of course, they can contact Vendy as well. We'll put all this information again on the show notes so that it makes it easy on everybody. But lastly, one of the things I really like about this is the fact that you could self-diagnose with that just the saliva test. It's really amazing, and the proactive part of it is going to help a lot of people. I know sometimes when you get sick, you go right to Wikipedia and you try to self-diagnose on the website, and it turns out you're dying, right? It's always the worst. So this is a lot more accurate, I'm sure.
You think.
Yeah. So what do you think, Vicki? How about today's podcast? Pretty amazing, huh?
Today's podcast is great, and I love to do a podcast with Ivan because it makes me feel good. Ivan, you and Philanthro Investors, it's like you're bringing the future into the present, and you're helping humanity to recognize and not only to survive life, but to make life better for the people who live here, to make the earth work better so that it can endure better. And it's so, I don't even know how to describe it, Ivan, but what you're doing for the planet and the world is exceptional. It's no wonder God talks to you in the shower. I think, maybe, Ivan, maybe I need to take 2 or 3 showers a day, and maybe he'll start talking to me.
Yes, exactly.
And I can say, and I know Ivan.
Yeah.
Be dropping your name to God.
And Ivan, let me just close out this podcast with one more question. I know that you're doing a lot of traveling. You're all over the place. Are you? What's your next stops? I know you've been all over the country, all over the world. Where are you going next?
Okay, so I am delivering a philanthro investing briefing on Monday to the south part or central part of Utah. Then I am delivering one on Wednesday on the north part of Utah. Then I have Denver, Colorado. Then I go to Kansas. Then I go to Florida. Then I go to Puerto Rico, and I stop a little while, like 1 month. Then I go to Latin America and will be delivering presentations in Latin America. And then I come back to Puerto Rico, where I reside in my enchanted island.
Beautiful.
Oh, very nice.
When
you come to
Ivan
Vegas,
yeah, really, you got to come to Vegas.
Okay, so Vegas is very simple. You just need to. We have Philanthro Investors ambassadors, like people that really wants to expand this message with their time, basically, and their connections, and represent us in different territories. You or anybody else that wants can become a philanthro investor for ambassador for Vegas, and then put together an event, and I will just fly and deliver this into an event for you to be expanding this world. And of course, we have an ambassador revenue share that we share with our ambassadors and so on, because they need to survive and use that money to put the events and invite people and sometimes serve some hors d'oeuvres or drinks or something like that, So that's basically the Philanthro Investor Ambassador Program, and we always look for entrepreneurs in different areas of the world that are willing to hold the flag of Philanthro Investors and help us expand, and I will be willing to travel to Vegas and deliver a presentation there, no problem at all.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to talk about that more after the podcast is over. So, but anyway, okay, Ivan, thanks a lot for being a guest on the show. I guess when Ivan gets on a plane, the pilot knows your name already. He's like, "Hey, Ivan, how you doing?" Again, he sees you all the time. But I really appreciate you coming on the show today to tell us all about your latest on Philanthro Investors. Vicki, thanks for co-hosting this episode. And folks, you're listening to the Mappable USA podcast, where we put you on a map at mappableusa.com. If you go there, scroll down the homepage, you'll see all our syndication sources. Pick the one that you like best and subscribe, and you'll never miss another one of our episodes. If you want to be a guest for the show, like Ivan was today, there's a guest tab. Click on that, fill out the form. We'll see what you can do about getting on the show. And if you like what you heard today, send us an email at info@mappableusa.com, or just leave a comment on whatever page you're listening to this on right now. So thanks for listening. Thanks for your support. We'll be at you next time with another Mappable USA podcast. Have a great week, everybody.